Goddamn apocalypse. No, we'll be okay. We're all gonna die. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I know it's been a while since I've done any kind of like makeup related video, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that today. Even though I've said time and time again that I'm not a beauty channel. I don't ever plan to be a beauty channel, but I can't tell anyone no for the life of me, so here we go with being a beauty channel. So I'm gonna just start off by doing some skincare here while I talk. I'll go over things I use later in detail, but for now I just want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, and that would be the C word. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it because there's been a lot of back and forth on the subject. It's like half of people are like, why aren't YouTubers discussing this? Why aren't they, voicing their opinion and like talking about it more? And then the other half are like, look, I have the news for that. I have Twitter for that. It's dominating social media right now. I come to YouTube for an escape. I don't really need that from the entertainers that I watch. And for me, I'm a little bit in the middle. I think it's very serious and we should be addressing it. Absolutely, 100%. But I also feel that, yeah, we do have the news. We have things like that. And it's not really, as a YouTuber, it's not really their job to tell you guys what you should be doing, I just feel like don't act like everything's fine and none of this is happening and it doesn't exist. But also, we're not professionals here. We don't know what's going on just as much as the general public because we are the general public, That's the thing about YouTubers is it's a basis of YouTubers are like real people, They're not like celebrities. They're meant to be relatable. You're supposed to be able to see yourself in your favorite content creators. So we're just all running around on fire, man. Like it's a scary time for sure. But yeah, so I've been doing the best I can, I've been following all the instructions the government's been giving us. I still have to go to work because I do have to make a living. If you know me in real life or follow me on social media, you know that I recently quit my job at Hot Topic and I went to Best Buy. Right now, Best Buy is compensating everybody. You can choose whether or not you want to go to work. I've still been going to work because right now, like I said, you get paid regardless, but it's strictly on a volunteer basis. And I feel like since I am lower risk, I don't have kids, I don't have a big family that I'm around often, things like that. So I've been going because I know they do need the bodies, they need help, and we're essential retail because we sell appliances and stuff. So I've still been going in, but other than that, I come straight home. I only go out if I need to go to the grocery store. I miss my friends and everything, but I feel like this whole social distancing and stuff, it's very important. So I guess the most important thing is to stay as calm as possible. Do take it seriously. Be cautious, but don't panic. And that's the most important thing right now. We all just kind of got to make it through and live life as normally as we possibly can. We're very fortunate to live in an age where we can talk to our friends and family through things like FaceTime and the internet and stuff, so at least we're not all completely isolated. But I also know that if you're like me, if you do struggle with mental health, then this can take a toll on that because, if you have a tendency to fall into depressive cycles, if you're inside, you feel like you can't do anything, and where I am, the weather's been kind of like rainy and gloomy, so that doesn't really help at all. But yeah, anytime you guys need a friend, you need to talk, you can always DM me on Instagram and things like that. I'm here for you, and we'll get through this together. And with that being said, let's move on into the video and just talk about brighter things, because I feel like we could all use that right now. So I'm moisturized and all that fun stuff. I went ahead and primed my eyelids, and as you know, Animal Crossing was recently released. I have on my Animal Crossing t-shirt here. I don't own New Horizons yet. It's funny because I do work at Best Buy, so we obviously sell it. It's there, but I just feel like I don't have the money for something like that right now. I feel like there's a lot more important things I could be spending $60 on, so after I get things straightened out, maybe I'll go ahead and get it, but for right now, it's not as important for me. I just want to make sure I have the things I need, because it is a crazy time. But today, I thought that would be a good excuse to do like a Animal Crossing inspired makeup look. I wanted to do like different looks based on some of my favorite characters, but also when I think of Animal Crossing, I think something super cutesy and just lots of bright colors and pastels and things like that. So how about we just do like a really cutesy makeup look, like very Instagram-y girl, kawaii kind of thing. So with that being said, let me dig out some palettes here. So eyes are primed. I don't even know what I'm going to do, honestly. Usually when I do like a look, I go ahead and like pre-plan it out and like practice it so I don't look like a complete idiot when I get on camera. But I mean, let's face it, I always look like an idiot on camera. That's entirely my brand. Maybe let's do like something rainbow, like across both eyes maybe, or maybe like a rainbow cut. I think I'm feeling a cut crease today. Let's just start with, I don't think I want to do pink on my eyes. I'm going to do a lot of heavy blush on the cheeks. So I think I'm going to go in with fanny pack here, which is this red one. I have this little Pusheen makeup brush. It came in this little set. This little, let's see if I can get it. Oh, it's dusty, but it's a little Pusheen makeup brush holder. I'm going to start just by packing this like kind of on the inside area of my eye here. I'm not really like doing the windshield wiper, like blending it in. I'm just like literally tapping it and pressing it into my eye area, and then we'll go back and blend it. Next I'm going to go in with leg warmers, which is this orange right here. I'm using the same brush, and I'm just going to kind of press this into that. Not focusing too much on my lid, more so just in, as usual, where my crease should be but isn't. Kind of feel into where my eyeball is. I'm just kind of overlapping that with a red as well. Hit my color switch, and then with the same brush again, I'm going in with this yellow, which is just called Neon. How creative. And then we'll do that on the outside here. Again, blending into the orange. And then since that's in, I'm going to look for a fluffier brush. It's another Pusheen one. And I'm just going to kind of, with no product on the brush, I'm just going to kind of blend that a little bit. So it kind of gave us this little like sunset moment. I'm going to grab a little bit of the yellow and kind of like draw this outward a little bit more. Just kind of lightly go over the top here, get it closer to my brow. And I feel like it looks kind of trash, but hopefully it'll all come together at the end. Okay, I'm going to clean off this brush. I'm just going to keep rolling with this one brush. Seems like the easiest thing to do right now. Okay, moving on to the other eye. I'm going to start with, I think since it probably would have been better to do light and do it more gradient, like the darker colors on the outside, but since I already fucked up, we're going to start with the purple. It's called Radical. I'm going to be using this purple. I'm going to use probably this blue and this green. So I'm going to do essentially what I did on the other eye, just with different colors. Purple is actually more of an indigo, whereas the one next to it's more of a violet, but we're just going with it right now. And I chose this lighter blue as opposed to the darker one just because I feel like it'll blend a little more nicely into the green than that darker blue. I just thought they looked better together. And then the green on the outside here. Because my thought process is once we throw on the concealer and do the cut crease, it'll be a nice little like gradients, you know, as opposed to having any type of harsher lines. See, I feel like you can already kind of see it coming together, or maybe you can't. I know this isn't the best camera quality, but you know, we're just trying our best here. As I said before, I'm not a beauty channel. Taking that fluffier brush I used, I'm just going to kind of try to blend that out a little bit closer to my brow bone. Maybe pick up a tiny bit of product and try to move it upward, because this brush is kind of dirty, so I feel like it's giving me a little bit of a muddy blend, but I mean, it'll buff. I'm just using the lightest pressure I possibly can, holding it kind of towards the end of the brush so I don't get too heavy-handed with it. Then again, I'm just going to try to drag this green out a little farther like we did the yellow on the other side. Speaking of the yellow on the other side, I'm going to try to pack a little bit more on there, kind of even it out. Okay, so I feel like this is already looking better than I personally anticipated. I'm going to drag this a little more upward, pretty much almost touching my brow. So now with the basis of my eyeshadow done, I'm going to go ahead and grab out an eye pencil just to do a little bit of tight lining on my upper lash line here. I'm going to be looking in this mirror right here. Now I haven't decided what I'm going to do once I cut the crease. Let me find a concealer brush first of all. Lately I've been living, breathing, and gagging for using Jeffree Star's Drug Lord for cut creases, but I'm not going to do that today because I need to conserve that product as much as possible. So I'm just going to go in with this Hard Candy Glamouflage. It came from Walmart. It's just a cheap concealer. It'll do. It's not my favorite. Sometimes it gets like weird and like patchy-ish, but I mean, what are you going to do? This doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like I'm leaving the house, so I don't know why, but it like separates really bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that and I'm just gonna start to, I guess I'm gonna fully cut the lid. I haven't done this in a while, so I can't talk while I do this. Okay, and since I made it this far and it's kind of thick on this outer edge, I think I'm going to go ahead and wing it out with the concealer. So that's what I got, if you can see it, if I'm in focus. Who the fuck knows at this point? And since I have that, I think what I've decided to do in this process is I'm going to go into my Conspiracy palette. You know what, let's take What's the Tea, which is that, oh shit. This one right here. Let's take that. I'm trying not to blink. Let's take that, actually. I think that would look cute because it's about the same color as my shirt. I think this little elf, like, flattish type dome brush, I think that would be good for this. I'm just gonna pack that on here. This is why get ready with me's are hard, because I struggle so hard to talk while I do my eyeshadow because I feel like it just requires so much focus. And right here you can see why the concealer isn't the best. If you can see this on camera, like right here, you can see where the shadow didn't really take to that spot. So it doesn't have like the most pigment, which is weird because usually it's gonna stick to the concealer. So that's why I personally don't like this concealer for cut creases, but it's what I have in the moment, so it'll have to do. Okay, so since I have that, I'm not worried about that spot because I think we're gonna maybe put some glitter on it or something, so I'm just gonna kind of let him chill. But what I'm gonna do on this side is I'm gonna go ahead and take a makeup wipe and just kind of clean that up here. Try to get rid of the color underneath that as much as I can. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the other eye, so pray for me. This is laid down and they're looking kind of different shape-wise, but I'm sure we can fix that. And actually, since I like the offset that we have going on, since this eye is already like predominantly blue and stuff from like the green and the purple, I think instead of carrying this color over, I'm gonna use pigment, since it's a little, you know, it's the opposite. You get what I'm saying. I want the offset we got going on. Just using that same flat dome brush, I'm gonna pack pigment on there. I'm taking this makeup wipe over here, just like we did with the other eye, to kind of clean up the color underneath the wing. Getting watermelon vibes over here. Okay, is she perfect? Absolutely not, but I mean, it'll do. It's lots of color. It's what I was going for. With that being said, I'm Let me wipe this concealer off my hand before it ends up in my hair. I'm going to take my NYX liner pen and I'm just going to try to do a thin line, thin as I possibly can. I have a tendency to go overboard. I'm just going to try to end it at my inner corner. I'm not going to wing it out. Already a much thicker line than I'd anticipated. But if you notice, what I am trying to do is get the bulk of the thickness in the center part of my eye, because it kind of gives your eyes more of like a round, cartoony type look, similar to what we have with the Animal Crossing characters. So that's a good way to play off me fucking up. Okay, so I have my NYX glitter primer, and then I'm going to be using this Anastasia glitter just because it's what I have. And I guess I'm just going to use this concealer brush. I'm going to take this glitter primer and just kind of, I'm going to try to avoid my eyeliner, but no promises there. I'm just going to try to place it over this blue here, and we'll see what happens, I guess. Okay, I want to save this brush, so I'm going to find a different concealer brush. I'm going to dab a bit of this glitter primer on it so that I'm able to pick up the glitter. I'm just going to stick it in this cap and tap off the excess. I'm just going to slap that shit on there. I can't wait to have glitter falling in my eyeball all day. I can already see the specks of glitter on my eyelashes, so that's fantastic. Ow, 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 ow. Dust some of that away so I don't go entirely blind. Yeah, okay, so that's what we got with that. If you can see it, you probably can't. It's whatever. What do you expect? Welcome to youtube.com/cokeandredrum. Okay, so there's that eye done. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the glitter primer, and by a little bit, I mean I'm gonna use half of the tube because I have no concept of product control. There's that, so let me find my other brush. Okay, overall I'd say this eye looks a lot cleaner than this eye. It just has a better shape, I feel. I don't know. It'll have to do. Like, it's good enough. We'll throw in some lashes. No one will ever know. For now, it's fine. I don't know how it looks on the camera. Probably like trash, but again, it's me. I'm gonna go in with my IT Cosmetics because it's a much better concealer, and I'm gonna see if I can do the thing that I want to do. Let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna take some concealer, and I'm just gonna try to, I don't know words. I'm gonna take this concealer up closer to my brow here. Wow, I think I may have pulled this off. I need a clean brush, which I do not have because I never clean anything. Okay, I have this dome brush I just took some brush cleaner to, and I'm going to use that to kind of blend that out. Kind of smudging it upwards into my eyebrows because we're going to kind of cover them up with product anyways, so that way it gives us just barely a little line of the rainbow, which is what I envisioned in my head. I just didn't know if I could pull it off, but you know, we're in this together, we're learning. I'm gonna see if I can keep from screwing up the other eye, and if I can keep from getting glitter in it every 10 seconds. Okay, that's where we are now. Maybe. If I'm in focus. I'm probably not. I never am. Why would I be? Okay, so I guess that's that, and we can start to move on maybe. I'm going to find a brushy brush. This is the cleanest one I got, this little elf fluffy dude. And now I'm going to dip into my Conspiracy palette, into Ranch, which is the white shade. Throw that in there. And it's like has a metallic shift to it, so it's also a nice highlight on the brow bone there. Me acting like I know what I'm talking about for 40 minutes straight. Okay, I think that looks kind of nice. So I'm going to go ahead and hunt down some mascara. I've just been using this NYX Worth the Hype. I don't know how good it is. My lashes are kind of shot since I wear false lashes every day, and because I wear false lashes every day, the mascara quality doesn't really matter to me. I just grabbed this because, I mean, it was there. It was just literally the first mascara I grabbed. So I throw that on. I'm going to let that dry. And before we start working on underneath our eye, I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. Lately I've been using, I found this little Wet n Wild primer serum. And I thought it would make me look like a beauty guru, so I bought it because I'm like, I could do those little videos where like you drip it down your face. Thought it would be fun. I don't even do that half the time. I just kind of like dip it in and like wipe it on my face. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my e.l.f. putty primer, and I'm just going to stick that in the areas where I have pore problems and in my laugh lines, because that's the biggest issue I have. And until I'm rich and am able to get Botox, there's just nothing we can do about it. Okay, so what just happened was I did pink underneath my eye, and I really didn't like how it looked, and it was like the pink I used was getting kind of patchy and weird, and I really didn't like it, so I took it off. I'm going to go ahead and re-prime under my eyes a little bit. So before I go any farther, since my mascara is dry, I think I'm ready for some lashes, and I'm going to get those on before I start working underneath my eye and on my face. So I just have these ones laying here that I've been wearing. They will be linked in the description below because I always get asked about my lashes. They're linked to every single video. Just check the description. It'll take you right to Amazon and you can buy them. So I'm just going to slap on some glue and let those hang out for a while. Let the glue set a little bit. That glue is setting. I think I'm going to pop some liner in my waterline. And the glue is still setting, so I'm going to go ahead and take my Maybelline Super Stay. Just going to start packing that underneath my eyes here. The first bit of my foundation on, I'm going to go ahead and pop on these lashes before I go any farther because I don't want to get into it too much and then the glue sets too long and then it dries and then I have to do the glue again because I have a problem with that. Okay, already feeling better about myself with these lashes on. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my foundation real quick. Okay, foundation is on. You can still see the pink under my eyes just because pink stains so bad, especially if it's pigment and not shadow. So I feel like that's just going to be there and there's nothing we can do about it, but there's about to be so much pink on my face it doesn't even matter. So I am going to take another brush similar to what we used for my cut crease. I'm going to dip into, well, should we use this? Let's try this one. I'm going to dip into Neon, which is that yellow, in the Violet Voss palette. And I'm just going to pack that underneath here, underneath my eye. No particular reason, I just chose yellow because it's such a happy color. And we could all use a bit of happy right now. So that's all packed on. I'm going to take this fluffy dude here and just kind of blend that out. I imagine it's going to get kind of orangey with the pink poking through underneath. Now I'm going to take some mascara and apply that to my bottom lashes. Really caking it on here. I want my bottom lashes to be really prominent. Okay, that's done. And since we're going for like character style, I'm gonna take my NYX liner pen and I'm gonna try to draw like a couple little lashes here. So that's done, and then finally to finish off this eye look, I'm just gonna take another little tiny brushy thing here. I'm gonna hit it with some setting spray. I'm just using this Wet n Wild. And in my Conspiracy palette, I'm gonna take the shade Ranch, which is the white. And I'm just going to stick that in my inner corner here. And I'm going to pull it in a little bit in this inner part of my lash line. Okay, so that's it for eyes. We can start working on the rest of my face. Probably not really getting Animal Crossing vibes, but it was my inspiration, so you'll have to deal. I'm going to start off with some contouring. I'm just using this Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in the shade Sunset Striptease. Boy, that's hard to say. I'm taking this Clearance Hot Topic makeup brush. And of course, I like to really just pack it on, and then if it's too heavy, I like to mute it with powder. I like this bronzer for contouring because I feel like it's really buildable and it gives you a lot of control. It looks... What I'm seeing in the mirror, it looks way crazier on camera than it does, like, in real life. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. flat powder brush that I've had for 8 years and dip into my Fit Me powder and just blend out my contour some. Gonna contour my nose, taking this little flat brush thing into my bronzer. If you don't have any idea how to contour your nose, I'm just here to say that I don't either. I just kind of wing it. Before I go any farther with that, I'm gonna pull out, I have this little pen from the Creme Shop. It is like a little liner on one side and a star on the other, and it's brown because it's for freckles. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to add in some little freckles, mainly in my nose area. Try to get all different shapes and sizes here. Actually, you can't see it. I can see it. You probably can't on camera, but I have a lot of freckles. I'm just very pale. So my freckles are very lightly colored, and they're more prominent if I spend time in the sun, but obviously I don't get out much. So you really only see them when I get back from the beach and stuff. But I really like my freckles. Lately I've been kind of feeling just like putting them back. So I found this little Freckle Pen. I imagine you can just use like any brown eyeshadow or eyeliner, which you can, most people do, but this looked cute and it was an impulse buy, so we're just kind of rolling with it. But my freckles, you can see them a lot through here. But a lot of the Animal Crossing characters have cute little freckles and stuff, so again, I just wanted to do like a cutesy little look for that. Feeling alright with that, and then since they're obviously quite dark, I'm going to go back into my powder and I'm just going to kind of go over those so it looks a little more seamless. But I do want them to be a little darker and stand out, so I'm not going to go too hard into it. If I wanted it to look more natural, what I've been doing is I put them on before I do my powdered foundation, and it gives it a lot more of a natural look. But I'm not really a natural look kind of bitch, so we're going hard. So I feel like that's cute. I'm gonna take this like little fluffier dome brush and go back over with the bronzer for a little bit harsher of a contour here. And I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm gonna take this little fluffier dome brush thing and I'm going to open up my Conspiracy palette and dip into pigment, which is the pink we used on this eye. And I'm going to use that as a blush. Start at the tip and underneath side of my nose. I like this. It gives a very like cutesy and like animal-like appearance. Just kind of what we're going for. And I'm going to carry that just up to where the freckles are on this bottom part. I blend that out with the powder just a tiny bit, and then I just kind of go back and forth between the blush and the bronzer so I can still keep that contour shape to my nose. And then this part I was really looking forward to. I'm excited to try this, but I've had this stencil for probably 10 to 12 years. Don't remember where it came from, but it's like this little Hello Kitty stencil, and I thought it'd be fun to take this little heart and then like try to do like a heart on my cheeks kind of thing. But we're gonna try to do that with the blush here. This little fluffy Pusheen brush. And I'm just gonna take some of this product, and I'm gonna be using this mirror right here. So I'm just gonna try to place this up on my cheeks. My lashes are in the way. Oh, it did work. Not the best, but it did work. And I'm gonna go back wherever the blush hit that I didn't want with my foundation brush here. Try to clean that up. I'm gonna take that little guideline that I just made for the heart and kind of... I wish I would have done this heart facing more outward, but it's fine. None of us are perfect, except for Jenna Marbles. Take this dome brush, go back into pigment, and enhance the blush a little more on the outsides of my nose where the freckles are. And just kind of lightly put it into the heart, but I still want the hearts to be super pigmented. And then just tracing on the outside with my foundation to kind of enhance that heart shape. My neighbor's rooster is going crazy. And that is a sentence that makes me sound like I'm like living out in the middle of nowhere. I live like well within city limits. Like I can literally walk to the DMV. Why my neighbors have roosters, I have no idea. Pretty sure it's not legal where I am. I don't know how it looks on camera, but it's obviously hearts from where I am. So now the only thing I feel like they're missing is some glitter. So I'm gonna hate myself for all this glitter later. It's gonna be so hard to take it all off. This is looking really fun. I really don't know what you can see on the camera. I hope you can see any of this because it actually is looking pretty cute. My only complaint is that I didn't face this stencil more outward, but the hearts are very prominent, very sparkly, and very cute. So I'm not going to do a lot of highlighter. I'm going to do some highlighter out here, I believe. And for that, I'm just going to have this little thing that I've been using forever. I'm going to hit it with that Wet n Wild setting spray, and I'm going to dip into my Artist Couture highlighter, which will be linked in the description. And I'm just going to place that on the outside there. And get some of that on my chin there. And then we just need to highlight the nose here. Little knockoff Art's brush. And taking another tiny brush like this one. I'm going to douse it in the setting spray, dip it in the highlighter, and do a little dot on my nose right on the tip here. Then I'm going to go back into the highlighter with this highlighting brush and just highlight the ever-loving shit out of the tip of my nose here. We are just about done here, 10.5 years later. I'm going to pull back out the Creme Shop little pin thing. I'm going to take the heart side and or the star side, and I'm just going to do like a little star here, one here, and then kind of mix them in with my freckles here. And I think that's a lot of fun. I'm gonna let that dry before I hit it with any powder. I feel very like Decora right now. Now I guess finally is lips. I think I'm just gonna go in with my Jeffree Star in the shade Virginity. Okay, and then lastly, I'm just going to take this Morphe setting spray. This stuff smells so good, and it has such a fine mister. So even if you don't plan on using it forever and ever, I would recommend getting this at least so you can have the bottle, and then you can refill the bottle with like whatever setting spray you want. Okay, so makeup's done. I'm gonna finish my hair, throw in a little bit of cutesy hair clips and stuff, and then I will be right back to show you the final look. Went with pigtails today, you know, since I thought it was like a cutesy look, and I just kind of teased them up a little bit, make them look nice and fluffy. I have these little bows that look like little cupcake things. I don't know, they're fun. And I found these hair clips that I forgot I had. I thought this kind of looked like, they kind of look like little Animal Crossing characters in themselves. And then I thought the strawberries were fun, even though there's no strawberries in Animal Crossing. But yeah, but overall, I think the look is super cute. And hopefully I can get some good pictures before I take it all off. I have a feeling I won't be able to. Hopefully you enjoyed this look and you enjoyed this video. I'd like to get back into doing some makeup-y things since I feel like I'm going to have a lot of time to spend on it right now. I guess I just feel like since I'm not like the best, I shouldn't, but I don't know. But hopefully this all translated well on camera. Hopefully I can get some decent pictures. And that is it for today's video. So as usual, I have some links in the description below. Subscribe if you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm not your mother. And have fun, be safe, look both ways before you cross the street. Stay inside unless you absolutely have to leave. Wash your hands. And I will see you guys next Monday. Bye! None of us are perfect, except for Jenna Marbles.